Hi, I'm Doug Misener, and this is my wife, Sherri.
Hi.
I am the new Transitional Pastor here at New Hope Community Church. We'd like to take just a few minutes and introduce ourselves to you. Sherri and I have been married over 30 years. We have 4 adult children. 3 of them are teachers, and one of them's in the Army.
Doug and I, fortunately, were able to meet in a singles group. And at the time, I was already teaching high school youth.
At church.
At church, yes. A singles group at church. And at the time, I was teaching high school youth. He knew that he was in love from the very, very minute that he met me. At least that's the story that he tells. I wasn't so convinced yet. And so he ended up teaching youth alongside me, teaching the boys while I taught the girls. And in the time that we served in that capacity, our friendship really, really blossomed and grew to the point that we did end up getting married and have now been married for 30 years.
Sherri and I began our ministry career in 2001. We knew that God was calling us to ministry. I was in trucking for over 22 years, and I had an opportunity to go to Cal Baptist and become part of a brand new program for pastors. And I was old, I was 40 years old, going to school with people surrounded on skateboards. And it was a real opportunity for me to go and get my undergraduate work done in Christian studies at Cal Baptist. Sherri and I took our first church in 2005 in inner city San Bernardino. And we had been in ministry nearly every day, probably at 5 or 6 different churches through our career. Serving in different positions as associate pastor or friend pastor or mentoring younger pastors and being able to be a friend to younger pastors. That really is what our call is with our life right now, is to be friend and encourage and enable young pastors in ministry. And so we were privileged to come alongside New Hope at this time and help us find that younger pastor, stand with him and encourage him and help him assimilate into this community.
That hasn't always been our life history. It's pretty interesting because back when Doug first told me that he had a call to go into ministry, I ended up finding out that there was this training up in Fresno for intentional interim, and God put it on our hearts way, way back then to do intentional interim. And so I talked to him about it. I signed us up. We drove out to Fresno for this 5-day training, and we were these young, dumb kids in a room full of 60, 70, 80-year-old men. But our heart was there. We knew then that we wanted to do intentional interim. And so we did the whole training, and then we just started praying and waiting on God. And instead, he called Doug to his first church as the head pastor. And so here it is, 25 years later, and it's finally come full circle. And
we finally get to do what we want.
It's just interesting to see the way God works. I kind of feel like we're a little bit like Moses, the last 25 years have been that journey of preparation. In all honesty, if we would have come out of that training and tried to do intentional interim, we just didn't have the experience that was necessary. You have to work through some bumps in the road yourself in order to be able to come alongside and do intentional interim type work. So God has prepared us, he's brought us full circle, and we are really, really excited to be here.
Sherri and I both have our master's degree from Gateway Seminary. Sherri was the first lady to graduate with a concentration in women's ministry. I was just a regular graduate. They didn't ask me to any special programs or anything. But Sherri's really smart. She's been invited to a couple of PhD programs, and we're looking forward to her future as a student. I'm looking to my future as not student. And so I was glad to get my master's and to finish seminary, and I'm sure that helped prepare us a lot. Like Sherri was talking about, one of the bumps in the road is finishing our education.
In the meantime, though, we really, really enjoy just hanging out together. Doug used to drive a truck, as he mentioned, and he convinced me to be a truck driver before we went into ministry, so we drove cross country together. We still enjoy long drives. We still enjoy just hanging out together. I really like to do things like building puzzles and some of that more intricate, detailed kind of stuff, but Doug is much more colorful, much more big picture. He doesn't like to do that little type of stuff. So we
I
have
want to
our
wash
things.
the whole truck.
We have some things that we do separately. I build a puzzle. He takes care of the cars.
That's good. So we do enjoy camping. We like to travel. We enjoy our grandkids and our kids. Our kids come over and play games till way past bedtime. We have 2 little pups. We have a tow behind camper, so we do like traveling and camping. And we're Steelers fans and NASCAR fans. Sherri still works full time for the County of San Bernardino, and hopefully she can retire next year and be in full-time ministry with us together.
Well, you've met us now. We look forward to meeting you. These next few months really are a time of relation for us. We really look forward to getting to know you guys. If you're available, we'd love to go to lunch with you on a Sunday after church. Just whatever we can do. We just really are looking forward to getting to know all of the wonderful people here at New Hope.
Peace out.